My name is Kofi, and I will tell you a story that my own eyes have seen, something that no elder in my village, not even the griots, had ever spoken of before. This happened many years ago, but even now, when I close my eyes, I can still hear the drums and see the shadows moving under the moonlight. I was born in the village of Nsumu, nestled between the great baobab trees and the slow, winding river that fed our lands. Our people were farmers and weavers, living as we always had, honoring the spirits of our ancestors. Every season, we held the festival of the ancestors, when we would call upon those who walked before us to bless our harvest and guide us through life. But that year, something was different. It all started when Nana Kwabena, the oldest man in the village, sat by the fire one evening and sighed deeply. "There is a story we have forgotten," he murmured, his eyes distant. "A dance that has not been danced for generations. And the spirits, they are waiting." At first, we did not understand his words. The ancestors had always been with us, honored through our songs and offerings. But Nana Kwabena shook his head. No, I speak of something older than our fathers, older than our grandfathers. There was once a dance of the forgotten ones. They wished to be remembered. That night, the air was thick with something unseen. Even the animals were restless, the goats bleating and the dogs howling into the darkness. The elders gathered, whispering among themselves, while we younger ones sat nearby, listening. No one knew what Nana Kwabena meant, but we all felt the weight of his words. Then, the dreams began. I saw a clearing deep in the forest, where the trees bent inward as if they were watching something sacred. There were people, not of our village but of some ancient time, moving in ways I had never seen before, spinning, swaying, their bodies catching the moonlight as if they were made of silver mist. Their faces were hidden, but their feet drummed against the earth in a rhythm that echoed in my bones. I awoke with my heart racing, only to find that I was not the only one. Others in the village had the same dream, young and old, men and women alike. It was as if something was calling to us, something waiting beyond the veil of time. The elders decided we must seek out the truth. They sent for Oma, the village seer, a woman whose eyes saw beyond what was visible. She sat before the fire, tossing cowrie shells onto the ground, humming an old, forgotten tune. "The spirits are restless," she said finally. "The dance was theirs, a gift to our ancestors, but time has buried it, and they wish for it to live again." A heavy silence followed. How could we revive something we did not know? But Oma only smiled, her voice like rustling leaves. "Go to the forest. The spirits will show you." And so, we gathered our bravest men and women, carrying torches and drums, and walked beyond the edges of our village into the thick, whispering trees. The path twisted and turned as if leading us somewhere unseen. The air was cool, yet a strange heat pulsed beneath my skin, guiding me forward. Then, we found it, the clearing from our dreams. It was untouched by time, the ground smooth and hollowed, as if many feet had once danced there. A hush fell over us. Then, from the trees, a sound. Drums, not ours, but something deeper, older, vibrating through the earth itself. And then, shadows began to move. They had no form, no face, yet they danced as in my dreams, twisting, leaping, calling to us with movements alone. My feet moved before I could think, my body following the rhythm that was not my own but felt as if it had always been inside me. The others followed, our bodies surrendering to the dance. Time ceased to exist. We danced until the stars spun in the sky, until the very air around us pulsed with energy. And then, as suddenly as it had begun, the spirits stopped. One by one, they faded into the darkness, their movements slowing like the dying of embers. Then, only silence remained. We stood there, panting, our bodies soaked in sweat, our minds struggling to grasp what had happened. But deep inside, we knew we had given life to something long lost. We had honored the forgotten ones. From that night on, the dance became part of our festival of the ancestors. We did not speak much of what had happened in the forest, for some things are not meant to be explained, only felt. But every year, when the moon is high, we dance as they danced, our feet moving in time with those who came before us. And if you listen closely, you can still hear the drums of the spirits, calling across time, reminding us that no legend ever truly fades as long as there are those who remember.